So in this video, we're going to talk about the space toilet. You've heard of it, the Universal Waste Management System. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
The clock is running!
Now, I'm going to look at it from a plumber's point of view. And I got to tell you, it's a pretty interesting thing that they got up there. I couldn't tell when they were installing this, is this actually astronauts in outer space installing it, or did they install it right here? Because if you look later in the video, you can see like hair flying crazy. You see dongles hanging on the wall, flipped up, things like that. But I gotta tell you, the NASA space toilet is actually pretty cool. A universal waste management system. Now that is a heck of a name for a toilet. Now, I don't know how much this thing costs, probably about $30 million. But I mean, think about what the wrenches used to sell for. Okay, wait, that was old NASA, right? Anyway, look, I love the space toilet. I remember whenever they ran a contest last year or the year before to design one, I had some great ideas. I just never really sat down and put it to pencil and paper. But I think mine would have looked a little more like a regular toilet. But I do like this thing. So just going through the video, man, you can see that, Lori, they've got a wide open spot. And I keep looking at things on the wall. Are things hanging down like gravity would do it? Or are they kind of floating up or moving around? And this looks like a pretty big piece of equipment for a toilet. If you go to NASA's website, you can actually see it. On September 17th, 2020, they released a drawing of it. Boldly go where no man has gone before. That's right, because this is a whole new toilet. Now, during the installation process, it's really neat to watch because this thing is literally almost like a toilet, a vacuum system, a computer, a science lab kit, all tied together into one. But I gotta tell you, they say that this makes for improved efficiency in outer space. I look at this and I'm old school. I'm literally thinking, look, let me design this from a plumber's point of view. You need vacuum. I completely get that. I like the way they have the seat designed, and it's not what you would think of as comfortable, but the astronauts are like, look, this is really comfortable in a zero gravity situation. Kind of interesting the way they did it. And a lot of this thing looks like it's stainless steel. So I said 30 million, it may actually be a little bit more. So it's got a lid on it that actually comes down and covers up the seat. But the seat's really funny. It looks like a dog bowl. It just kind of sticks up and, you know, I guess for your dog, that's where you put the crap at. So it kind of makes sense that it's designed that way. Now, it does have a urine pretreat tank. We don't have to worry about that. We just drop our urine right down in the water, but it knows where to go. So the pretreat tank actually separates it out, pulls it out. Of course, they filter it so they can turn around and use it as drinking water. What? But it is what it is. Anyway, now there's a funnel that goes on the end of the urine transfer line that goes to the urine transfer system. And I mean, think about it. We could actually just install funnels in bushes outside of bars, and we could probably save a lot of money on water. Okay, maybe not really. But think about this. You've literally got a funnel that you go urinate in. Not a bad deal. Guys, we've been doing that for years. We just call it a fence post, not a funnel. So your urine pretreat tank goes down, then it goes through the urine hose. So your funnel, your your funnel, your hose, your pretreat tank, and my video ended, so I'm gonna start it over here. So now that you understand all the parts of it, you also got to understand there's like a cartridge that you remove to remove fecal matter. And hopefully in this seat, the way it's designed with the vacuum, you get no fecal remnants hanging around inside the seat. So how do they work? Well, remember, you don't have gravity. When we sit on a toilet and drop the kids off at the pool, they go all the way down to the pool. Now, this has to have a vacuum system. So my thought is, why have a seat and drop things out and hope that they get sucked down in there? Just, you know, use that urinal funnel the other way. Never mind, this probably would be called an insert funnel. That would probably not be a good thing for the astronauts. Anyway, watching them install this, and I gotta tell you, I don't know if this is sped up or these astronauts move faster than most plumbers, but I mean, these guys are moving around. And I like this way you see them floating upside down to install this and get in positions. This could literally take the wear and tear off of plumbers. If we just worked in outer space, we could actually get in compromising positions very easily. It's not going to put strain and tear on our body from the compromising positions that we get in. And I like it too to see things just floating around. If you look at the install video, and we will put a link to it down in the description. Actually, we'll show you pieces of it in here. But to see the way they've got things floating around, you can tell that it is in outer space. or they've got a zero gravity chamber down here in Houston, and that's where they installed this. But this does not look like your typical bathroom. There's no porcelain. It's not nice and clean and sanitary looking. It is literally stainless steel in the military type situation. You're like in a big locker. I gotta tell you, the ambiance and the surrounding probably could have been done a little bit better to give you something to think about. But this is a neat looking thing. This literally has a vacuum chamber on it. So when you sit down and you drop the kids off, there's no pull. You're just dropping them off in outer space and they get sucked down the vortex. So I don't know how much they paid for this, but I got to tell you, it does not look anything like a normal toilet would. Now, here's the other thing too. There is no lavatory around, but I do see they have wipes on the wall. I just want to know, are they using Cottonelle flushable wipes, or are they using baby wipes that are actually made with plastic fibers? That's kind of a joke, but I don't know where they're flushing it or what they're doing with it. But anyway, they're definitely not putting it down the city sewer line. Now, one thing about this that I'm not sure about, because I mean, these guys appear to be in outer space and they're wearing khakis and a blue shirt. So we don't know where this is actually installed, if this is in the International Space Station or if this is in a zero gravity room here on Earth. But to look at this is kind of interesting. Now, I wonder, do you have to come in and take your entire spacesuit off? Do you have a fanny pack that like opens up, undo your pack, drop a load, drop the kids off at the pool, or drop the kids off in the vortex, whatever it is, and take care of it that way? I gotta tell you, this is kind of interesting. It's neat to see the way that they do it, the way they install it. The area is kind of unique, but I don't know how long it took them to install this, but I gotta tell you, it looks like it takes a whole lot longer than a regular toilet. Tell me, what do y'all think about this? Have you ever seen this before? Have you ever seen anything like it? And did you, by any chance, come up with an idea to help design the toilet for this? Because I do remember seeing that, I think NASA was giving away about 30 grand or something to the winner, whoever could design the most functional toilet. And I gotta tell you, this is actually pretty cool. Of course, I had nothing to do with it. I'm not this smart, but to watch these guys install this, and it's gotta be sped up because they were moving around pretty quick, but to watch these guys install this is actually pretty neat. If you've seen any other videos or pictures about the space toilet, do me a favor and leave me a message down in the comments below. I'd like to see more on this because this was actually pretty cool. Anyway, do me a favor. Let me know below, what would you have done different? I hope you enjoyed this. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you on the space toilet if you don't get flushed first.